Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Midheaven Pod Live. We just finished filming some new podcasts for y'all.
Oh, yes. Couple bangers.
We caught up a little bit, so we had time to do some stuff that is going to be more timely. We got to finally do like a current event video because we took a break last week. So we did that. We put together also a video about progress charts. So if you guys have any questions about progressions, or maybe you're just getting into progress charts, definitely stay tuned. These episodes are going to be coming soon. If you are a member on our channel, you're going to get to watch our kind of overview of what's going on in the world right now. We talk about OnlyFans and the Taliban
OnlyFans
and the milk carton challenge, or the milk crate, or whatever the fuck's going on the internet right now that all you young kids are doing.
Talifans.
So it's an interesting episode.
Oh yeah, certified bangers. You're gonna enjoy both of them. They'll give you much needed perspective.
And we're really glad to be back and to be live. I took a little bit of a break, thankfully. Mike is better. He no longer has the Rona.
I no longer. I'm on the verge of death, at death's door.
Oh my God, I'm surprised I didn't get it. It was like, I got that text from Mike and he was like, hey, so I tested positive for the virus. And I was like, fuck.
Kind of like
we were
telling
cheersing right next to each other the entire time.
It's kind of like telling someone you have an STD. Like,
I was waiting for you to be like, I have herpes. I'd be like, I know.
I know how your Gemini ass gets around.
But thankfully Mike's okay, and I went to CVS and stuck a swab up my nose, and I am too. So cheers to that.
I was so surprised to hear that. I was so happy. I was like, that's that Scorpio juju right there.
I keep joking. I was like, joke's on you, bitch. I am the virus. Now my alias is Rona. We just
Miss Rona.
Give a shout out to those of you guys who are some of our higher level
level 3s.
peoples, our level 2s, our level 3s. People like Jessica Martinez, Kelsey J, Paula, Kayla and Misha. Thank you guys so much. Thank all of you guys. Even if you're not subscribed, why are you not subscribing? If you get in, you can support our channel, especially if you like watching our weekly podcast. Level 2, you're going to get a shout out. Level 3, you are going to get one reading a month on one of our lives. So I believe we definitely have a couple of people. So if you are one of those people, give us a shout out, let us know, so that way we can make sure that we get you your reading. We do have a person or two.
Shout out to Official Hall of Fame. I just did a quick reading right now. If you're not subscribed, you're the Page of Pentacles reverse. You don't got your shit together. Your whole world's upside down. You don't got stability. And you can turn that all around by hitting that subscribe button. But if you're subscribed, we got the High Priestess. You woke. You got wisdom. You coming into intuitive information. Shout out to the subscription gang. That's what's up.
Thank you guys. You guys make it possible for us to keep doing what we're doing. We are a self-funded podcast. So we show up, we have to get all the equipment. We're a 3-man team, so we have somebody who's editing and doing all the post-production, things like cameras, lighting, mics. Mike's beer. Obviously, we really love pizza. So anything that you guys donate to the readings.
Said the P word. And my heart just opened up immediately.
That's our favorite thing, is to be able to like eat and drink and have a little bit more of like a relaxed but still kind of astro nerdy podcast. We aim to definitely be very different than the rest of what is out there on the interwebs.
And we're growing, and I really do appreciate y'all's support and the episodes y'all love. I'm just so excited about this podcast.
It's crazy. We started doing this in February, so it's now almost September. We're 30 episodes in. We just filmed number 30, and we're just going to keep going, and we've gotten so much support. If you guys aren't aware, we also have a merch store, so you guys can check that out. We have obviously a YouTube channel, and we hope to be creating more content and bringing you guys more fun stuff, especially as the end of the year and the holidays kind of roll around. So, yeah, definitely check all of that stuff out.
Shout out to Official Hall of Fame, our new subscriber. Now that you've subscribed, we got the 9 of Cups for you. Every wish is going to come true just because you subscribed. Just like that.
Somebody said string cheese. That's so true. We definitely do. We do need to get Mike more string cheese. Thank you guys for being able to catch the episode. Starry Ari, what's up? Why does Super Chat not come up with US dollars?
Ari, it's because you're an international goddess. You're not from here. So you got all the currency options. Ari be making it rain too, so. Thank you, Kirsten and Sheeman. I'm glad you recovered too. That's also awesome. Very, very awesome.
Yeah, so many people messaged me and they were like, where's Mike? He's loved by the community. And I was like, I'm the captain now, motherfuckers. Did you like that? I was like, once I knew that Mike was gonna survive, then I like came out and started talking shit. But like I held back because I was like, we gotta make sure he's gonna make it first.
Oh my God. I was like removed. I wasn't trying to talk to anybody.
Yeah, it was like 5-6
God.
days that he was just, yeah, he was MIA.
And like I was not my Gemini self. Like I didn't feel like talking at all. I was just like super inert. I was binge watching Lucifer all the seasons. It was just a highlight, I guess. That show was crazy.
You look great though. You look a little slim and trim. Look at you. You look
Yeah.
a little slim and trim.
I lost a few pounds and I'm working out
It's the new diet
again.
trend. Hashtag Rona. The Rona 20.
Day 2 of semen retention too. So I'm on my woke shit.
Oh my God, she said it's in Brazilian. We don't want that. Give us Bitcoin. Give us Bitcoin.
Maybe it's her browser. Maybe it's your browser or IP. I don't know if you're using like a...
I feel like the internet is like slowly but surely like gonna hack.
VPN.
And they're gonna just like hack this entire channel because of some of the shit we talk about. The
Actually,
commercials are in Portuguese too.
Oh my God,
Fuck.
that's amazing. I've always felt Pluto Aqua is going to be like the hacker's paradise. Like everyone's going to get hacked and all sensitive information is going to be released.
Oh man, I hope not.
It's going to be a judgment day. All the messages you sent, like at some point.
I mean, the only thing that like I'm really like afraid to share is like my Google search history because I asked some like really ridiculous shit.
That won't be hacked.
That's
'cause
the
you
only
can
thing that
delete all
concerns
that.
me. But
It's going to be
everything
more
else-
like social media messages, posts you may have deleted.
Oh shit.
Yeah. All the...
Day 2. Shit. Maybe that's why you got Rona. You can't go that long without fapping.
Sierra, no. I reset after day 19. I wanted to start again because of Virgo season and the moon in Aries. So I had a whole week where I just kind of ascended my fappery and I took it to a new level. I don't be using Jergens and watching porn. I'm not a low-level fapper. Okay, I'm creative with my shit. And I get a little psychic with it. So it was just, but some people felt that because I did no fap.
Are
it
you
made me
blaming the
sicker.
moon in Aries for why you went back to masturbating?
No, first of all, I don't.
I mean, I'll sign on for that. but
I don't.
like-
I don't masturbate. I have soul sex. It's totally different. It's a form of sexual intercourse that's more causal. I have sexual core exercises. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not just
That's
watching
what
porn.
isn't that what they call like Kegels?
Right.
Sexual core exercises?
I'm not. See when
Yeah,
y'all
but you
say.
don't need to do this to exercise.
That's what I'm saying. When y'all say fap, y'all think that I'm just beating my meat, watching porn. I'm not doing that. I'm having core exercises where I
No, you're
focus
not. You're
my
just like
energy,
eating Doritos and slapping it around and being nasty to
I'll
it.
be having soul sex. It's just not with the physical body.
Oh,
just
so
with
it's
the
not
soul.
fapping if it's coconut oil?
It's not. And first
Okay.
of all, I don't use coconut oil. I use.
Don't be sleeping on the coconut
I use
oil.
my soap and imagination. Maybe Instagram, but still like I connect with these people, so it's a form of intercourse and it's not masturbation. Okay, just gotta let y'all know it's ascended fappery. So it's a few.
Ascended fappery. Okay.
So I had to just release the stored up energy and I mastered my style. But it's crazy when I hit it again. I realized it doesn't hit the same before. Like I'm not addicted to it. Like I'm ready to move on from it, and now I'm just ready to like get a woman pregnant. Like I'm
we were talking about this
pull out.
in
My
the progress
is a
chart.
Taurus.
Something about like Cancer energy or like Cancer main 3 or like Cancer progressions definitely is like trying to
Yep.
get on the baby train.
See, now I don't want to just waste my nut. Now I'm ready. Now it's like if I have sex with you, I'm not pulling out. So like, what are we gonna do? Seriously, if I
Why
can't,
are you playing pussy roulette?
If I
Why
can't,
would you do that?
Well, I'm not. Listen, if I can't nut in you, I don't know you that well,
my
so
God.
we're not gonna be having
We're
sex.
gonna get canceled.
So like,
so quick.
if I'm having sex with you, it's because I know you enough to give you my full seed.
Sarah Waters says, "Make a baby, cartwheel, 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 star, 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 star." That's my favorite.
Okay, so
derailment.
That's my sexual philosophy.
Breeding fetish. That is cancer, though. Breeding fetish. Right. That is cancer.
I won't have sex with you if you're not comfortable enough with me nutting. Okay, that's a lot. With me completely busting my ocean fish in you, and like,
ocean fish.
If I don't know you well enough or you don't feel comfortable enough, then we don't have to have sex. And that's just really the kind of like, I guess, discipline. I love how I got the 2 of cups and the 10 of cups and then the ace of cups. But like, yeah, that's my mood right now. Like in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? I wasted my seed, but now some lucky woman is gonna have the whole, library in her. And if she wants to plan B it, if she wants to have a kid, if she wants to IUD it,
oh my God, you can't IUD after the fact? I mean, I guess you can, but that's a Hail Mary.
It's a Hail Mary.
You're really risking it in that situation. Would not 0 out of 10 would not recommend.
I mean, know some people who've had vasectomies, so like there's that. But not vasectomies, they're tubes tied. So there's that. Yeah, women having vasectomy. Call me old fashioned, but I like my woman without. But other than that, like,
what's the fun of vasectomy? You're just gonna sit there and shoot blanks? Like, you don't want somebody who's gonna be like, and like nothing comes out. Like, where's the cream filling? Like, you can't.
I would never have
the whole
a vasectomy. But like, I know a couple people with their tubes tied. They both have Pisces energy.
Oh my God, this is the fucking chat is so lit right now. This is fucked up.
Popping Plan Bs like they're Vicodins or ecstasy. I have the Plan B ready. Like, hey, baby.
Oh my God, I'm fucking crying.
The Plan B pill or the blue pill?
Scar said, "What did I click myself into?"
Oh my God.
Victoria's in the house. Hey, Victoria.
Plan B or Plan C? The red pill or the blue pill? Boom. It is what it is. So that's my decision, y'all.
Thank you, Starry Ari. She just elected for 4 people to get a reading.
She's a baller. That's what she's been doing.
Thank you for spreading
You've been
the
chosen
love.
by the goddess Starry Ari. That's basically what that means. You're a chosen one.
Jesus.
And it's happened again.
Nice to see you, Kelsey. She is a member.
Kelsey! Shout out to Kelsey. She's awesome.
Can't be on TV. That's why we're on fucking YouTube, because we can't be on TV. Even though we are an advertiser's wet dream, okay? We really are. He's super... You're not Republican. I don't even know what you are. But
I did not. When I voted, I did not identify as Republican. But
we could not be more different, but we cross all of the
thresholds.
Yeah, everything. Like even if you look at some of the people who are on the channel, it's like 20, 21 to like 45, and it's like men and women.
Really?
And we hit everything.
That's amazing.
We hit everything. Yeah, so it's really kind of cool because there's definitely a lot of us being able to get a lot of, I don't know, just get a lot of exposure and be able to appeal to a lot of people who happen to have 6th grade fucking locker room humor because we like talking about disgusting things. So we'll get into some of the readings. Thank you guys for your donations. If you're not aware, there is a PayPal link in the chat. Also, we've got Super Chat. So if there is a PayPal that comes in, just let us know because sometimes your name is different. So we're going to call you based off of your PayPal name. One card... I think we're doing for, you can see it on the banner. And
stay tuned because after the live readings, I'm going to do the pick a card sex reading.
Yeah, everybody seems to really like that.
Are you going to have sex this week?
Oh my God,
how are you going to have sex
this week? You're so fucking ridiculous. Every time you pick one for me, it's like kind of sadly accurate. So I'm here for it.
I'm going to do 5 cards this time too. So if you want to choose multiple cards, beware. That's on you.
Okay, so let's get into people who have already made purchases. Are there any of our members, our level 3 members? Jessica, Kelsey J, I know you're here. Paula, Kayla, Misha, and who else? Am I missing someone? No? Okay. Let me know. I'm trying to keep up with the chat box. Don't have time to figure out the currency exchange. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with Jacqueline, Ryan, And Kelsey J. Kelsey, you have a question? Let us know. If you want to cash in on your reading for the month, let's get it. I wasn't expecting a reading. My phone was on D&D and my ears rang heavily and you turned in. So you got like the back call. Let us know, Kelsey, if you have a question. I'm going to go ahead and read for Jackie. She said, no, sorry, not Jackie. Rachel Studebaker asked, tarot reading question, what do I need to focus on right now? What do you need to focus on right now? Better odds with 5.
Rachel.
The Hermit reversed. Obviously, this is really interesting because it's talking about explicitly what is going on during Virgo season, whether this is like the next 7 days or so, especially. It seems to be really adamant talking about emotions and how you get caught up in emotions. Like the 7 of Cups has like a very like Neptunian vibe to it. Obviously, you see him kind of like swinging through like a dream state and being in a space of like trying to kind of figure out what is fiction or fantasy and what is real life. Can also be talking about like confusion and like trying to like cut through things that aren't really making sense. So with the Hermit reverse, it's talking about like coming out of a period of confusion, making a conscious choice to like enter back into society or into the world or into your job space or into something that deals with coworkers, or some kind of awareness. Like it's like basically saying, okay, it's time to cut through all of the fog. It's time to come forward and start talking about what you have realized or what you have become aware of. I'll read that in just a second.
Yeah.
And then the 7 of Cups comes up, you know, basically saying like it can be hard for you to cut through confusion right now and like weighing the options, but not everything seems clear. Something about the Sun moving into Virgo and being an opportunity to kind of really clear out all of the static or anything that doesn't really make sense, especially if you've had issues finding balance emotionally or even in terms of what you're eating, what you're drinking, things that pertain to your habits. There could be something like that that's coming up. So it's just highlighting where, are you not taking care of business? Are you running and hiding? Are you escaping and staying in your cave? Are you not dealing with health or work issues head on? Are there certain behaviors or like actual like patterns or habits that are coming up for you that are not being taken care of? So work with the Sun, especially look at where Virgo is in your chart and look at where the Sun in Virgo is making aspects. Might be talking about coming into this new moon that's happening in Virgo, that there's like a real need to like merge the conscious and the subconscious and becoming more aware of what is and is not healthy.
Beautiful.
I'm just catching up on some of these things that are
Kelsey, what you said is so fascinating because you and I recently had a conversation where you were talking about losing people recently and the chain continues. That's so deep.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Your man's dad passed on Sunday morning unexpectedly.
That just really strikes me as very interesting.
Oh.
But karmic too. Lots of money coming in through that, ironically.
That's rough.
Got the 9 and 10 of Pentacles.
There's a lot of people who are like transitioning, man. There's a lot of souls that are like,
There's a lot
I'm
of
checking
people
the
who
fuck
are
out.
passing, like
They're like,
kids,
I'm done.
adults of all ages. I saw apparently like a comedian who was unfortunately, I hated to see it. I saw him in Vegas. His son passed. Fetty Wap's daughter passed. Like that's just so horrible. Oh, nice. Sorry, got for Lucas too.
Aw, thank you, Starry. You guys have such an awesome community to see everybody like come out and be able to do this stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, so did you pull for
for
Kelsey?
I can do for Kelsey. So the first thing I got for you, Kelsey, was the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. You're super rich right now, but you're about to enter a level of wealth that's going to shock you. It's going to be a level of wealth that maybe you felt you needed to be in your late 30s
Kristen,
or
I'm sorry to hear that.
40s to step into. But this is realistically going to, Rest in peace to your aunt, Kirsten. Once again, this is definitely going to be an independent sense of wealth that you tap into that will last for a long while. And it's just, I think the way it all kind of steps in is just going to be a little bit unsettling, because it's like coming into a lot of fortune and notoriety before you feel you're ready. But you've always been, excuse my language, but you've always been that bitch, my friend. Like, you've always been that head bitch. You've always been the queen. You've always been that, you know, in some cases, masculine representation of this feminine energy too. So you really want to work on owning that, whether you feel like it or not, because you have it. You got it like that. So we got the Fool card, New Adventure. We got the Devil card. Okay, I'm gonna put it like this. And we also got the Page of Pentacles. And what are the odds? The underlying theme we got for you, Kelsey, is the Two of Cups. This is between you and your partner. And I feel like this Fool card is the karmic limitations and the chains that your ancestry and your own family, your own parents that may have had, not because they, you know, they all mean well, but those karmic chains and links are broken. This Fool card is having you explore avenues that couldn't be explored just because of the subconscious element of still having to deal with certain members of people around you. And this is very important because the Fool card is a full-on exploration of the shadows and the codependency between you and your partner. And the Page of Pentacles is a reinvention based off of that. This is going to lead into the massive wealth that you're going to step into. This has a lot to do with IRS and tax, new coding. Maybe the way that you actually file your tax is going to be different, and so the way you operate monetarily is going to be a bit different too. So that's something to keep in mind. With the Two of Cups, you're going to be, the underlying theme is growing closer to your partner as you both discover, and I literally got the Three of Pentacles, teamwork, as you both uncover shadows and codependency with each other and reinvent how you connect. So embrace that new adventure.
So we've got Sam Alexander. Hi from New Zealand, love your work. Just a quick general love reading, please. This one is for you, Sam. This one. Page of Pentacles. Interesting that that card comes up for love, because pages can be a message, right? So this can be a message of where you are putting your time and your energy, where you're investing yourself physically. For that to come up, it's either like you starting to kind of really reevaluate where you see yourself going in relationships. It can be you dealing with an earth sign that's coming in, or you also kind of going back and forth and being selfish in a good way. And really reevaluating, like, okay, like, are certain people worth my time or my energy? Because time is money, especially with this card. Page of Pentacles, one thing you want to be aware of is like dealing with like younger or immature people who physically show up, but do they emotionally show up? Is there a sense of them actually really doing the work when you're getting to know them, whether this is like a Virgo or a Capricorn or a Taurus? It can also be referencing younger people in the beginning process of getting to know somebody and really determining whether or not it's going to be worth your time. If you are somebody who's thinking about children, when pages come up, it's like a kind of going like, okay, how much time do I feel like I have before I have to make decisions about investing in a relationship, getting married, any of these things, if that's important to you. I will warn you, though, that pages are not always the easiest if you're currently involved with somebody or dealing with somebody, because you can be acting like they're not completely mature enough to engage in a relationship with. There is a need for you to definitely be very picky with who you choose right now, or who you talk to, or who you invest time in. And be mindful that, you know, pages can sometimes be like nightmare partner cards. I'm not saying that that's the case right now, but it's just giving you this heads up and this warning. If you're dealing with somebody who's not willing to get out of their comfort zone, not willing to grow up, to mature, to be honest and upfront about what their goals are, where they see their love life going, that this is a warning that it may be somebody that you need to steer clear of. But for you on a personal level, depending on what sign you are, this can be just talking about you being a little bit more particular and picky and selfish in all of the best ways, and not really like wasting your time or your energy on people who aren't really ready for some of the things that you're ready for. It can also be dealing with people who are really short on time, or, you know, people who are kind of cheap, or they don't want to invest a lot into going and actually spending time together. So be mindful of that.
Beautiful.
You want to take Jamie?
Yes.
Sun in Aqua, Moon in Scorpio, Rising Leo, whatever the universe is trying to tell me. So they're a Leo rising, Aquarius, Sun, and Scorpio Moon. Holy fixed placements, Batman.
Whatever the universe is trying to tell me, I got you. Right off the bat, there may be a man watching this. I'm going to leave this super vague so it can apply to any of you. But there's maybe a man watching this that is taking a very negative, pessimistic approach to love. And you have a lot of anxiety over the love or the romance that you're stepping into. And your anxiety is completely unfounded because you're stepping into a relationship with someone who unconditionally loves you and understands you at a next level. Anyway, so the card we have for Jamie, boom, we got the underlying theme as the Knight of Swords. The run up in your, no, I'm just joking. We got the Ten of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. I was gonna say run up in your poon and like run away, but not like the Knight of Wands that will kind of, you know, and the Knight of Cups that reminds you. But no, this has a lot to do with rushing to conclusions. Ten of Swords means recently you ended a difficult situation. You ended an old negative way of thinking. Two of Pentacles is talking about the industrialness and the productivity that goes into you picking something new off the ground. Like when you start a new business, and of course you need to be hands-on so that you make it stable. And then we have the Queen of Swords, which is you stepping into your professionalism. So the Ten of Swords is a bit of a rebirth. And the Knight of Swords is you coming as an underlying theme. We got the Nine of Cups. It's a message of not hope, but fulfillment. And so maybe this Knight of Cups can represent a Gemini like me who rushes in and tells you something, not just what you want to hear, but delivers a message that adds fulfillment to your life. And it's very interesting to see through the Two of Pentacles of you maybe being productive. This could be kind of like working to not feel any pain. But the Ten of Swords is talking about the transition from defeat to success. Where with the Queen of Swords, the near future coming into the next week, you're so much more professional about what you do. You're so much more focused on the independent work you're doing. Hence, we have the Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords here. That's going to really illustrate this sense of professional organization and productivity. And this is all based off of ideas, habits, and a sense of yourself that you've let go for good. And congratulations. It's a lot of releasing.
There's so much of that stuff going on. Just like talking to clients, like so many things that are just coming to a tail end because all these planets in Virgo are like hard checking situations now and just seeing shit for what it really is. And like not allowing people to play the victim anymore, right? Or kind of like just getting a pass.
Yeah.
So Starry Ari was nice enough to be able to give 4 readings to people plus herself. So from what I remember, it's Starry, Lucas, Lilac Ocean. Who else was it? We got 2 more. Just remind me because I'm going through the chat and I can't see it. I went back and it's not coming up. And then once we are done with that, we'll get to Elaine and Elle. I see you. Don't worry. We'll get you too. So I'm going to just first pull for Ari and Lilac and Lucas, and then you can grab the other 2.
Got you.
Thank you for your donation and your generosity. That's so cool of you to do that, sprinkle in all this goodness. So here is a card for you, Ari. 8 of Swords reversed. Intuitively, I feel like part of what's going on is breaking soul contracts. Cutting things, whether this is people or yourself, loose. Remember that when this card comes up, it's a situation where the 8 of Swords is basically saying when it's reversed, it's psychological. You're not completely tied up. You're not stuck. When it is reversed, the swords fall away and you're in a situation that you can actually get free. from stress, from drama, from the bounds of contracts and agreements that you had with other people. This is also a lot about you breaking out of limitations that you have set for yourself in your mind. So when you notice your mind going to fear 8 of like, what if it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't work out? What if this isn't received well? It's really kind of moving that out of your consciousness and going, what if it does? And not allowing yourself to fall into mental roadblocks of feeling like you're kind of getting like cornered into situations that you can't get yourself out of. So it's less about focusing on what if it all goes south. It's more about focusing on what if it all goes right? What if it all actually pans out? What if it does work out? And also thinking about ways for you to be able to like almost like clear your energetic field. So like, I don't know if you're doing readings, I don't know if you're working with people, I don't know what the deal is with that, but almost like coming up with a routine, working with the element of air to be able to clear that, whether you want to get like a selenite wand or you like actually want to work with a wand, or if you want to work with like a dagger or the element of air, burning stuff and clearing stuff around you, because I feel like this can also talk about your crown chakra being super open and being somebody who absorbs a lot of like the anxiety and fear of other people around you, because maybe you are dealing with a lot of people one-on-one, I don't know. And the need for you to like really come up with a system where like you can clear that immediately. Mantras, things like that can be really positive. Thank you. So now we've got the right ones. Avon, J-Lo, Sierra Waters, and It's a Vibe. Okay, cool. And also that was your reading. So then I'll get Lucas and Avon and J-Lo.
And then I'll get Sierra and It's a Vibe.
Yeah.
Bad.
Okay, so Avon, I hope I'm saying that the right way. Let's take a look and let's see what you need to know for your one card. The Tower reversed. Whatever has been going on and that you've been like dismantling or uprooting in your life, this is very Mars energy. So part of this might be taking a look at where Mars is in your chart right now. It's in Virgo. Of like whatever has been falling apart, it's behind you now. Now that everything's kind of fallen, now it's in a process of like getting ready to heal and rebuild. There may have been some like earth-shattering like thoughts or realizations or situations that has been going on for you recently, and you're like, what the fuck do I do now? Realize that when the Tower comes up upright, especially in this deck, it's like a shipwreck, right? So you see them like not really kind of doing so well, kind of bobbing along. But when it's reversed, it actually, to me, seems like it's a little bit more stable. And like you're in a situation where you're starting to clear, the waves are going away, like everything's kind of calming down. So moving more into a direction of being able to clear out all of the emotional chaos around you, being able to rebuild and just recover. But this is also reminding you that it's really important for you to clear everything out in one full swoop. Don't leave anything behind. It's really important because you're going to be building a new structure. It's also saying that, you know, the physical body, yeah, you're having your Mars return. So if you're having that too, it's like pay attention to that Mars return, where it's returning. If you're having your Mars return soon, if it's in Virgo, it's in aspects to, you know, obviously Neptune. So it can also be talking about working with heat and water or fire and water to purge and cleanse. It can even be talking about when it comes to the physical body, like drinking hot liquids and things so you can like fight stuff off. And especially emotions, because this is like a lot about getting swept up in the emotions of like the catastrophe of like whatever you're clearing out currently. Whatever it is that you're working on clearing out though, you've been really doing since about May of this year. So keep in mind that this has been a long time coming. So this is kind of like the final like, hurrah before it all gets settled. Hopefully that's helpful. And then we've got J-Lo.
Oh, nice. Avon is having his Mars return soon. Congratulations. Mars return.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Mars. The Tower.
Still. Okay, what are we not missing? What are we missing here? Okay, so honestly, I feel like that's still more for Avon. I'm gonna like reshuffle again, but it's saying like pull the trigger, dude. Like the card wouldn't have. You saw me shuffle the deck. The card wouldn't have jumped out again like that. Pull the trigger, make the decision to like actually cut something off or like, you know, wrap something up is the advice I would give you.
And awakening with judgment. Jesus.
Oh yeah. So let's see, J-Lo. J-Lo gets 3 of Wands reversed. Reassessing the direction in which you're going. Be careful about making announcements and telling people that something's coming or that you're beginning something. Like I would say, like keep some of your situations to yourself, especially if it requires some kind of long-term planning, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years. It's almost like saying like you need to kind of reconvene with yourself and really like figure out what direction you're going in. 3 of Wands, even if it's reversed, I still see it as a positive card. It's just saying it might take a little bit longer to achieve your goal or get to where you're going. If you are waiting on news or if you're planning on putting something out or having a conversation, it may be delayed. It's also kind of saying that before you go on a trip, purchase a vehicle, make any changes in something that you're putting out there or that you're launching, really take your time. There seems to be like some need for you to like really go through everything and sort and sift through the details before you take that next step. Once you do that though, I do see it being successful. I also kind of feel like a lot of this is about you deciding how you're going to be kind of strategizing when it comes to a goal. So I'm wondering what that goal is, because when this card comes up, at least for me, it's kind of, the following card is the 4 of Wands. So it's about celebrating and bringing everything together. So before you do that, don't count your chickens before you hatch. Really make sure that you've sat on the plan and you've kind of properly organized and strategized before you move forward, especially if it has to do with travel or movement or a project. Okay?
Boom, Sierra. First of all, thank you for the wand that you gifted me. Super lit. I feel like I have it's just like another weapon in my arsenal. And then congratulations on recently giving birth. So we have the 2 of Wands and the 4 of Cups reversed. The 4 of Cups reversed with the 2 of Wands is actually super awesome. And please let me know if this reading is trash. If this is not accurate, just let me know. I can pull a couple more cards. But the 2 of Wands is talking about you are manifesting your vision into the world. The 2 of Wands, one of my favorite cards, is Mars and Aries. And so you're making very important plans. But the 4 of Cups is slept on. This is Moon in Cancer, whereas this is emotional contemplation and just curving everyone to oblivion. The reversed is new alliances, new relationships. You're releasing this sense of contemplation. I love that you were chosen by the goddess Ari. And this is definitely speaking of you. And it's very key. Like, the 4 of Cups is when you come out of a long spell of ghosting people, not even ghosting people, just curving people, and maybe just kind of keeping to yourself. The 4 of Cups can come up when you turn down opportunities because it's outside your comfort zone and you don't want to. So reversed, it's like now you've released that and new opportunities are coming through simultaneously to you now knowing how you want to plan your future. So this is inconspicuous, but it's very powerful. Mars and Aries, Moon in Cancer. By the time the Moon is in Cancer next, we might see this. It's going to be in a couple days after it goes through Gemini. Right now, it's in Taurus, or it's coming out of Aries. So keep that in mind, because we see the theme of you really looking, you got the world in your hands, which I always like to see this as a smartphone, right? You have all the possibilities. But it's like now you know this, after the ace, now you know what you want to do and you're planning. Like, okay, I have these plans, this is my vision for the world. But with the 4 of Cups, the opportunities are going to start coming in. They're all new. And that's beautiful. And so next, for it to vibe, we have the Devil card and we have the Page of Pentacles, which is really, really interesting because I channeled some information. If we're going to look at the cards, the Devil is codependency and it's overcoming limitations and chains. And Page of Pentacles is reinvention. So it's a vibe. You're dealing with a very unconventional situation. On the surface, it may look ratchet, it may look pretty weird, but realistically, this is some genius operations that are undergoing. Page of Pentacles is moving past any limitations that you had before, but what I'm picking up really powerfully, and I know this is going to be weird, if this is not applicable to you, throw what I'm saying in the trash. But if this makes sense, trust me on this, you kind of want to be open to money laundering. You kind of want to be open to like illegal ways of making money, okay? And it's
temptation. temptation.
The devil card is like the dark part, and the Page of Pentacles is turning it into clean money. So keep that.
I wasn't aware there was a money laundering combo, but hey, you learn something new every day.
Came to me, right? It's weird, and it doesn't have to be that.
You're so fucked up.
It could be like overcoming limitations.
This is like selling, like trying to become like a neighborhood drug dealer.
Cool. It could be. You could
it's
be
like
the plug.
you're the plug for like, you know, the middle schoolers.
It could,
selling them oregano and bad weed.
Or Breaking Bad. Or Breaking Evil. In some cases, though, it's like you could be overcoming bad habits, and then the Page of Pentacles is reinventing your habits. I don't know why I'm getting money laundering. It's like you're balancing illegal and legal money.
He's like, my guides are telling me money laundering. Yeah, give me your credit card.
And the opportunity can just come to you too. Like maybe if you don't know what I'm saying, like it could just happen, and because you're so skilled.
Like maybe you're trying to become a lady pimp.
That too.
Yeah, maybe you're becoming,
Right.
Well, that's fun. I feel kind of bad. I definitely did say lilac. So lilac ocean, I'm going to give you a card, even though this one's on the house.
Hey.
Ooh. Oh, hello, devil.
The devil.
Are you involved in the money laundering
Listen. She has Lucifer on her sun.
Oh, okay. Well,
interesting.
what sign?
Sagittarius.
Okay.
She's not evil or anything. She's very amazing, but I think that's interesting.
In this deck, there's 2 devil cards. One, which is this one, which talks more about a sense of like temptation and whether you're going to be tempted back into old ways of behaving or old ways of being. It can also be talking about the resistance to temptation that you're currently going through and whether or not you're going to allow yourself to taste something that's forbidden, whether it's a relationship or a habit or whatever. You know, when it comes upright, it's pretty strong. So it's saying like you might be kind of dealing with shadow self right now, or like dealing with situations that you're trying to break. And these seem to be things that are more physical, like third dimensional things. Like I don't see it being like stuff that's like more like dark otherworldly things. It's like money and, you know, sexual stuff or possessive stuff, things that you're trying to break. So if that's something that's going on right now, it looks to me like, you know, you're moving through something between now and the end of this year. I definitely feel like it's something that you are clearing out. And when I think about Sag and some of the retrograde stuff that's coming in December, going into February, like that's when the real temptation comes back and you get tested to see whether or not you're really willing to give that up. So be mindful of that.
Temptation.
So that is all of Starry Aries. We have Elaine. Oh my goodness, look at this message. I love long messages.
Transiting Saturn on...
Transiting Saturn is on the exact degree conjunct
Transiting Neptune, I'm sorry.
Transiting Neptune is on my Saturn, exact degree conjunct my MC in Pisces. I'm very confused and hesitant on making big career or applying for another college program at the moment. Big part of me feels like I'm only making decisions based on fear of financial instability, gaining professionalism, which leads me to recognition and success. But I'm quite creative at heart as a Pisces MC to have my hands in various interests. Financial pressures and expectations were put on me. I would allow myself to experiment more with arts. I love astrology, my own side counseling. I've been thinking of going back to school for a professional counseling diploma, only to be able to work a normalist job again. I'm a Virgo sun, Venus, Virgo, Capricorn moon, Cancer rising, Mars conjunct the North Node in Libra. That's a lot of mutable stuff. I can really confide in you. Love the poem. Okay, so we'll pull a couple cards. I want to know where your Mercury is after all of that, to be honest with you. And if you've got that Cap moon in your 7th and you've got a lot of Neptune on the midheaven, part of me feels like there can be a combination for you of doing some kind of counseling, but equally combined with art therapy. I mean, part of like the Saturn transit that you're... Oh, Lucas, I'll get you, don't worry. Part of the Saturn transit for you is going to be about you going through a situation where you learn how to, you know, Saturn Neptune is like laying the tracks, you know, the imagination, the tracks to reality with the imagination train. Totally botched that. I have Saturn conjunct Neptune, and one thing I have found is that it does ground me in my reality of what I realistically can and cannot do, but it does make me do the work for my metaphysical studies, if that makes sense. So let's see what the cards have to say.
Lucas, we didn't forget about you.
We didn't forget you, don't worry.
Order received.
Okay, so what you need to know, Elaine. Okay, first things first is like Four of Swords reversed is, I think, about taking action and like kind of being more active in the direction of like figuring out what direction you're going to go in, like getting really clear with your vision, like it's not about being lazy. Like the Four of Swords is like, don't spend too much time when it's reversed. Like it's time to get out of bed and get the show on the road and like have a 4-year plan. It can also be talking about the process of like working with stuff that makes sense for your energy levels, which can definitely be fluctuating a lot when you're having a Saturn-Neptune transit. Two of Wands is saying 2 paths, 2 options, a merger of 2, being more focused on what you can kind of bring together in the vision. Like don't look at it so much as like, oh, I need to have a normal job. It's more about how can I integrate more of this creative, metaphysical, spiritual kind of visionary aspect. If you have that Pisces MC, it's such a great placement, especially if you have a Cat Moon, that you can go and do this kind of work where you're combining the two together. Ten of Swords does tell me that there is a need to like let certain situations in the past that haven't played out or the fear of not being successful go. That cannot be something that comes with you. Remember, your thoughts create your own reality. Over this next year, as like Jupiter moves more into your 10th house or over your IC, especially if it's the ruler of your 6th, I really strongly feel like it may be a good idea to look into some type of, college or program or something that is either going to be abroad or it's going to have some real hands-on training and like really working with people early on, rather than just this kind of stereotypical, like I go to school, I get a degree, and then I go through the process of like going and becoming a therapist. I feel like this is about having experiences that allow you to interact with various cultures, different traditions, maybe even going and studying things like shamanism outside of just psychology, art therapy, different kind of like healing techniques, other things, so you kind of create this like really well-rounded practice. So by the time you're coming out of Saturn through Pisces, you will be able to put all of those pieces together and you'll be able to create something that's really unique that works for everybody involved. I also really genuinely feel like you don't want to miss out on this Jupiter transit next year, where you have the opportunity to start integrating and bringing in knowledge and real application in that field. It's going to give you an opportunity to kind of really get a feel for, is this what you want? Jupiter Neptune can very much be about the dream job next year and working in fields that also might involve like psychedelic research, anything that does with like water therapy, or even, therapy animals. You really want to look more into like that Jupiter 10th house transit, because it's going to open up a whole other world of stuff that you can study that is not going to be super boring. And so part of being a Cat Moon also is like this reoccurring pressure of like feeling like you have to show up, you have to mature. It will take you time to come into that when it's in the 7th house. So I would say also, don't be so hard on yourself. Hopefully that's helpful. Lucas, I'm coming for you. I am coming for you. And we did not forget about you, Elle. You are going to be next.
Whoop.
All right, so this is for Mr. Lucas. There.
The Master Virgo.
This one.
Happy Virgo season, by the way.
6 of Swords.
Mercury in Aquarius.
Wasn't this the same card that you got? Weren't we just talking about this? Wasn't he telling you he wanted the Ace of Wands, and then you got, and then he got 6 of Wands. Honestly, this is about you getting your vehicle, Mister. This is about you being able to get something that allows you to get from point A to point B.
Or yacht.
6 of Swords talks a lot about being in limbo, being in transition, but being mobile. So it does talk about the process of being able to move around, this also talks about moving on, moving to greener pastures, moving to a place where you feel you have more security. Keep in mind that it does talk a lot about like you sorting and sifting and assessing all of your things and deciding what you want to bring with you. So it might mean that you have to make some real decisions about what you're willing to kind of cut in order to make this car possible, or this ability to just start being more mobile possible. If I remember correctly, the North Node is in Gemini, so it's hovering somewhere around your second, third house. I think probably your third house going into your second. So I do think that you can see within about maybe 6 weeks that there is a change in this. I don't know where you live, but you may actually end up finding a car that is either close to a coastal city, it's from a coastal city, maybe it's near a lake. It can also be somebody who's like, I'm moving, we got to get rid of this car, we got to get it out of here, and you end up just having to move on it very quickly, and you're like, well, it doesn't have everything I want, but you know, it works, it's going to get me to where I need to go, and it's definitely something that I can bring in sooner rather than later. Hopefully that's helpful.
Whoop. So Devin said I was deep in thought, and the goddess Ari said Mikey thinking about his future baby mama. And that is absolutely true.
Oh my God, no!
What I was
Guys,
doing.
Mike has baby
Holy
fever.
shit. I'm a progressed 20-degree Cancer right now. I'm about to progress and rise into Cancer, so.
Don't worry, Kristen, I just got yours.
Ari, I don't know why you
Ashley's
called
too.
me out like that. I thought we were cool. I don't know why you dragging me right now, but it's all good. It's all good.
Oh my
That was on
goodness.
point.
Jackie said, has anybody felt crankier since Virgo season began? My cranky is on another level today. Yeah, well, the moon has been conjunct Chiron, and it's like squaring like Venus and shit. I'm fucking over it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fucking over it. I've been in a mood for 48 hours. Yes, we got you Kiki's crystals. We got Ashley. We got to bop up over here and did we get Elle? I don't think we got her yet.
I'll take Ashley right now.
We have to get Elle first.
Oh, I got you.
Thank you, Elle. Thank you for being patient. What does Spirit want me to know? I'm a Pisces sun, Sag rising, Libra moon.
Soup. My little spawns. That's hilarious. So is that 40?
Yes.
Got you. Woo! Marriage and childbirth to me is an amazing idea.
No.
It's an amazing idea. I just don't think it'll ever be a reality. But anything can happen, so who knows? I feel
like you need to babysit a kid for a weekend, and then we'll see. That would be a fun episode, like Uncle Mike.
I feel like I can't have kids because Pluto's going to be in Aquarius, and if I have children, they're going to be super rebellious, and they'll be alien geniuses and alien monsters.
Those are the best
and all the
kind.
kids. I don't know. I just don't trust the new generation, even though I love the new generation. They're going to lead us into the future, but it's just like I don't know if it's the right time to have kids, and I know that's just me being fucking stupid right now. But
You should just get married then.
I don't know if I should get married.
We'll find you a mail order bride.
My heart wants to get married, but my dick and my mind are like, Michael! Why would you do this to yourself? But, you know, my heart is like, Michael, I need to connect with the right woman and be in love and have, you know, the fantasy come true. And it's just like, my Gemini is just like, okay, whatever, I'll just instigate both sides. Okay,
God.
Bam.
Okay, so Elle said, what does Spirit want me to know?
Want me to know? First of all, as a Pisces Sun Sag rising, you are an ascended master that's a creator, and you have the artist soul. So your badassery transcends. You're a beyonder. You go beyond everything. Spirit wants you to know, above all, stop listening to other people. And when people tell you things about their life, when people tell you what they know, you need to laugh at their face. Because they don't know, and you'll see this. They only have an idea. You almost have to be a little bit condescending, but you wouldn't, because you're very unconditionally loving. And that's really fucked up for me to say.
Lucas says, mail order bride, pick me.
Oh my God. And
Mike's a boob man, though, so you better be ready.
Hey, if you got man boobs.
He wants to see those titties.
It's very important because, you know, I know what I said sounds counterintuitive, but the pressure you get, especially if people feel like you're weird or you're different, it's like, excuse me, bitch, I'm a fucking ascended master. Like, I came here for you niggas. Like, I came here for humanity. You're welcome. And it doesn't matter if you don't understand it. So the cards that we have, underlying theme is reinvention, Page of Pentacles. The card's coming up a lot. And a lot of that is the Virgo season. We got you as the Queen of Cups. Literally, this is the Libra woman. This is your Libra moon. So The Libra moon in the 11th house means you're cool as fuck. Like, you're very receptive to community around you. But this Libra moon is telling you during this period of reinvention where you're reevaluating the way you make money and exercise, you want to focus on your individual projects. Because with the Queen of Swords, the professionalism you lead with is going to move you forward. We got the Fool card. And so the Fool card is talking about stepping into a brand new adventure. We know this is true because as a Sag rising, you had you're in chapter 3 of your Jupiter arc. The Fool is Uranus. And so you're getting ready to explore the possibilities of the knowledge that go into how you really express your cosmic abilities. And we finally have the Knight of Cups, which is a Justin Bieber-esque type figure who will sing and
like
dance
actual
their
Justin
way.
Bieber, or like the lesbians that look like Justin Bieber?
Probably both.
Okay.
They're going to sing and dance their way into your pants. But this is the thing. We see the Queen moving in the same place as the Knight. The Knight is your Pisces sun. This is the card of Pisces. The Fool is your Sag rising, and the Queen of Swords is your Libra moon. So it's almost as if you're backing, because the Queen of Swords is intellectual. She's gonna give you wise legal advice, and she'll rip you a new asshole, but she'll tell you the truth. But the Knight of Cups is artistic. The Knight of Cups, whereas the Queen of Swords will appeal to your logic, the Knight of Cups is going to appeal to your heart.
And your pants.
And your pants. So this could actually be, with the full Knight of Cups, be talking about a new Pisces that comes through. But what I think this is you leading forth with your creativity. So people are going to see the Pisces. They're going to see that, oh, she's so artistic. But in the cut, you have a sword ready to chop dudes' heads off. Like, you're very intelligent. And it's like within, you're very professionally minded, you're logically balanced, but you express yourself like this artistic Pisces. And the Page of Pentacles is you grounding how you reinvent your personality, because we know for a fact Jupiter is going to go over your sun next year, and that's going to be a new cycle.
It's going to be awesome. It's so good for like Pisces, sun, moon, rising. Okay, so we've got Kiki.
Soup.
Love you both. Chiron be kicking my ass today, but at least it'll all be making me laugh. What does Spirit want me to know? Yeah, but don't you have that Gemini on the 5th? So it's like helping kind of keep things moving. So let's take a look at
Shout out to Kiki.
what she needs to know. And then we'll be on to Ashley.
And Elle, in the interview that you have next week, once again, you want to appeal seductively. Don't be so logical. Appeal to their hearts and seduce them. Not romantically, but, with the vibe.
Interesting that the devil keeps coming up. Like, this is either like a lot of like Saturn shit, or this is like a lot of people who are having like a hard time with Pluto, or just like cutting something down or releasing something or breaking free. Like, you guys gotta understand something. Mars is moving into a trine with Pluto and Capricorn. We're gonna see what else is gonna move into the trine? Mars, not Mercury. Yeah, Mercury, right?
Mars, Mercury,
and the sun. So the whole next 2 or 3 weeks is all about transformation. What you do with power, who you give your power to, where somebody trying to control you, manipulate you, stopping you, telling you no, you can't do it, is actually the motivation with the trine to like do better, go big. So for you, Kiki, the devil card is kind of telling me like, look, there's some heavy feelings that are coming up for you right now, and you're maybe questioning or wondering like, am I going to break this pattern? Am I going to break out of this? You might be kind of really in your feelings also about stuff that's going on with your work situation, trying to kind of keep an open or a positive mindset. One thing I will tell you, just because I know your chart, is a lot of the work that's going to be done physically for the next 2 years is as a result of the mindset you set this year. Because Jupiter in Aquarius is talking about the future. So when we think about the squares you're experiencing, if something's a problem now, make it bigger. If you're realizing that you're having all these emotional reactions to things, and they are, people, situations, work schedules, whatever, heaviness is holding you back, those feelings are coming up because they need to be cleared out. Those feelings are coming up so you can acknowledge them and go, okay, I don't want to feel like this anymore. So how can I get to work on really kind of making this shift and coming up with alternative paths, methods, perspectives, mannerisms, keeping an open mind. The Two of Wands is like, okay, this isn't working. What about this? It's trying new things, considering things that you haven't done before. Because if you keep feeling like you're hitting a wall, what's going on right now for you is like basically saying, even if your heart is wrapped up in a situation, if this is a relationship or a person, if your heart's wrapped up in it and you're not feeling good, you have to make more decisions that are going to be more kind of like cerebral. It's about kind of cutting the heart out of it and going like, you know what, I got to step in and I got to make these decisions. I also feel like the Two of Wands is like evaluating what the future holds and where else you could go physically, where you're living, with your job, whether or not it makes sense for you to like actually break a pattern and if you have to go somewhere in order to make that shift. So that's another way that this can happen. The next 2 weeks, there's going to be a lot of activity here. And I also think it's the setup for you being able to kind of strategize later this year with where you're going with some of your business stuff, because you can't really look at that without thinking business. So really, it's about like, honestly, your emotions are going to be your compass. Like, you're a Scorpio. You got a ton of planets in Scorpio. So even if you're just powering through it, being like, it's okay, I can work through this, those Saturn squares are going to kick your ass next year. Don't make yourself do the emotional labor. Acknowledge what's going on emotionally and start considering things that you have never really tried before. Boop.
So next is Ashley?
Yeah.
Bam.
So she's got one card and she says, I'd love to hear whatever comes through in regards to love, my man, or career.
Okay.
Your man is a career, honey.
It is.
That is a career.
Relationship is a full-time job. And I already have a job, so it's just like, but it's worth it, right? So here's the thing. I pulled a ghost message, and this will go out to whoever it applies to. Some of you watching me right now, us right now, you have a vision. It's not just a vision, you have a fantasy. You know what you want. You feel what's possible. You even see multiple opportunities, but you're just not sure which to move forward to because there's this fog. What you have to do with the Chariot is to move forward. You have to actually have the wherewithal and intrinsic quality to move forward like a boss, knowing you'll get what you want, even though the path doesn't look clear. Your fears are blocking you because you're like, what if this happens? What if this happens? But you're the force of victory. You gonna make it happen. And you're gonna enter uncharted territory. So you just go. So Ashley, let's see what we got for you. Boom! Shout out to the Man Children. One of my next albums is actually going to be Man Child.
Didn't Kanye already? Or no, he just is one. He hasn't made that one yet.
Kanye is a 38-year.
Is his new album out yet?
It might come out next week. We'll see. Drake
he
hasn't dropped it.
He always fucking does this.
No, he does though.
He always fucking does this shit.
This is the third time he did it. He did it with Ye. He did it with Jesus is King. And people haven't caught on that this is his strategy because he's a genius. And this is just what he's doing. But Kanye has spit that he's a 38-year-old with rich nigga problems. And I'm a 31-year-old, 7-year-old, or 12-year-old.
No, he's just a Gemini with a Pisces moon. That's just a whole other thing. Did I hear this correctly? I'm sorry. I'm like 30-something, and I'm like this like now like white lady and like getting older. What's the beef with Kanye? Is it Kanye and Drake?
Oh,
there's
yes.
beef, right?
Yes. So
that's Kanye, beef I want to hear about because Scorpio's got to watch their back in the next year. And he's not one to be. He really shouldn't be doing that. Kanye and
Drake have this love relationship that they're masking with hate. They love each other, but they will never admit it. So it's interesting because it got revived. They've been trying to squash it for years, but they've done so much petty shit to each other. It's Scorpio and Gemini, and Taurus got brought in. This is so lit. So Gemini, Kanye is being super petty, and I love it. Drake is being the cool one, oh yeah, I'm removed. And Kanye's like, bitch, I got time today. I'm gonna be petty as fuck. And this is gonna get messy and it's gonna get ugly and everyone else is gonna be entertained.
Drake's gonna lose in that situation.
Oh, Gemini's his 8th house, yeah.
It's not a good move.
Because Drake takes himself more seriously than Kanye takes himself.
They should just hate fuck. Can you imagine?
They kind of did.
That's the worst. I feel like that's the worst matchup. That's some lethal shit. Scorpio and can you imagine if we had a beef?
Oh my god.
Can you imagine that? I would just bury something in your yard. You'd be done.
Oh my god. And then
I'm just kidding. No. He's like, no, but seriously.
It's the truth. And they have their progressed moon. They have their composite moon in Taurus where Uranus is. So it's some unexpected shit brewing. So Ash, what we got for you?
Yes, Kayla, ask your question. I got you.
The Two of Swords. And so I love this. This is Moon in Libra. And we actually see, it's not a coincidence. You asked about your man or career. And the Two of Swords is this indecisiveness between you being led towards your man and you being led towards your career. So when it comes to your man, when it comes to career, you have to be careful of making sure that you lead forward your decision making with intellect over emotion. Moon in Libra is dictating that you don't make too many.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing reading the chat. I can't.
Oh my God. You don't want, oh my God, that's crazy.
Hate sex can be hot. I like my men crazy.
That's retarded.
I mean, these are all comments that would probably come out of my mouth, but.
You don't necessarily, oh, okay, that's crazy. Okay, Kirsten's man is a Gemini, Sun, Pisces, Moon. So, Ash, you want to be very mindful because the Two of Swords will protect you from making decisions that you're coerced to make. Okay? Oh my God. No sword fighting. No sword fighting. So, as far as
it doesn't count unless they touch.
Oh my God.
Right? Isn't that the rule?
True. That's true. Oh.
So I'm sorry.
So we got the Strength card. I pulled an extra card, Ash. The Strength card I wanted to pull for like your career, and the Strength card is talking about taking a more creative focus and aspect in what you do, where you're gonna come into more control. You're gonna come into more fun, even if what you're doing seems mundane. That was loud. You're gonna come into more of a very pure element of your power and sexual energy. You're gonna express this to your relationship, where he's gonna be looking at you like, damn, you're so much sexier than you usually are. But the Two of Swords is very important, Ash. Whenever you make decisions, do not make emotionally ruled decisions before you consult your intellect, and this will keep you balanced. This will keep you grounded. Boom.
Kayla Ann says, I have a question about my career. I'm about to lose my job for certain things I'm choosing not to take right now. Been wanting to go down a new path for a while. Any advice about my true purpose? Yeah, from somebody who has intentionally given resignation before I was let go from any job. Let's change the way that we look at it. Instead of being like, I'm losing my job, it's I am releasing it. I'm letting it go. Instead of you getting cut, you're cutting them. It's time for them to go.
They need you anyway.
Yeah,
that's why they hired you.
She says, I'm currently a nurse, but I feel like I should be doing something else. Yeah, we are perverts here, but there's also 54 other people who are also perverts who are watching this right now.
People live. Is that a new record? That's
yeah,
amazing.
I mean, I think we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Let's see if we can get those numbers up. So let's see, Kayla, what I can get for you. In terms of work. Seven of Cups is evaluating all of your options. Queen of Swords reverse. Oh, an extra card popped up. What's the deal? Like, are you dealing with some like nasty boss lady? Is there some stuff going on where like communication's bad? Why is Queen of Swords coming up reverse? Like, what's the deal here? What's happening?
Shout out to Sam.
Is it because you feel like you can't communicate? You can't speak out? Is it that you're trying to, but somebody's shutting it down? Are you feeling like you're trying to speak out about things that aren't being handled appropriately and like you're kind of getting mistreated for it? Like, what's the deal? Do you feel like you're being censored or you're being shut down? I feel like it's not going to take long. I do feel like there's something else coming. It might take about 6 to 8 weeks for you to figure this out. I also kind of feel like be mindful of some of the stuff that's going on at work. Like, I'm not telling you what to do, but I would say don't quit your job. Like, let them end it, because it might actually be something that you can kind of get some support from, whether you get a severance or you end up kind of getting some kind of support, like government support or something for 2 months, just to kind of stabilize, because there's a need to kind of mentally stabilize your energy and kind of get back on track and get clear. The other thing is I wouldn't completely nix out nursing. There may be an opportunity for you to do some kind of like checking on patients, going and seeing people in their home, like traveling to them, like seeing them, so that way you kind of get a breakup of your routine. That might be something that you do temporarily for 2 months until you kind of figure out more of what you want to do, but I don't see any shortage of work. 2 is like your intuition has been telling you this for a while. I'm dealing with a mandate, the governor, for something I don't want to do. I know it's a hot topic. Okay, so gotcha. So here's what I would say to you is let it happen. Don't willingly quit. wait and see what happens, because to me, like when the Queen of Swords comes up with the Six of Swords, other people in other places might want you. Private facilities might want you. You may have work in another place.
Can I share a story about that?
Yeah.
So someone was messaging me. She's like, what do I do? Because the school that I teach at told me that I have to get, a certain job or I'm going to get fired. And so, basically I encouraged her, I let her know, don't do what you don't want to do. Like if you feel, if you don't want to do this, don't feel like you have to be forced. There's other options. And so she showed up to her job looking fresh. She let them know she's not going to do it. And they released her. Within 24 hours or 48 hours, she found a new job that's actually anti all that. And, I'm not sharing that to influence your decision on whether you should get it or not, but just know there are other options out there.
There's other work.
Yeah.
I mean, Two of Pentacles is saying you may have two options. You may have to be like, do I want this or do I want that? You may balance two things to make up the difference until you figure out what you do want to do. But I don't really get the impression that you're going to be forced to quit. I feel like push comes to shove. Queen of Swords is saying don't say anything at all. And if they decide to keep pushing it, then you finally say, are you firing me? Are you letting me go? I just want to understand. And if that's the case, Queen of Swords with the Six of Swords coming up does make me feel like not only would there be another opportunity, but also that's about pushing the limits. That's like Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, using your communication to really get the point across. Don't submit anything saying that you're willing to leave. That's the one thing I would tell you. Keep asking them, are you letting me go? And until they give you an answer, show up for work. This may ultimately end up being something that is the beginning process for a lot of people of whether or not they're going to pursue legal action. And I'm not telling you to do that. But when Queen of Swords comes up, it's like, okay, well, until you really define, because nothing's defined, they may not give you any defined, yes, you can come back or no. Because we're kind of in uncharted territory here, it might be kind of the beginning process of either there being some legal stuff that you get involved in or other people who you end up kind of working with who are also legally going up against this, so that way you can actually ultimately end up continue to keep working in this industry if you want to. That's up to you. You're a Libra and an Aquarius. So there are other people who are going through this. You might be meeting other people, especially over the next 2 months, but some kind of private nursing, travel nursing, something that's going to be close by, something else is going to pop up. Not firing people, giving them personal leave of absence, which I think I should take. They won't force you to quit. Yeah, take it off. Take the time off. Let me tell you something. In the next month and a half, Mercury go retrograde in Libra, and it is all going to fucking square Pluto and Capricorn, all right? If you think that people taking leaves of absences from jobs and being told they can't go to school or whatever because of the vaccinations, I'm not giving my opinion on it. I'm just saying ultimately this is going to be legal. There's going to be lawsuits from this. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the South Node in Sagittarius, because it's all going to go down pretty much September through the end of the year.
Once again, what I've been saying about that is if you want to get it, you should be able to get it. Don't listen to these people peer pressuring you not to. Like, you should be able to, it should be widely available to you.
It should be your choice.
Exactly.
It should be your choice.
If not, you shouldn't be forced. You know what I'm saying? Like, on both sides. So it is what it is.
I just saw the message that we got from Elaine. I gave you the reading. You might have missed it, so you might want to just scroll back and listen. But I talked a little bit about your placements that you have with Pisces and the art stuff. I discussed a little bit about what my take was and what the cards were saying about letting go of any fears about not being successful. So just scroll back a little bit.
So Elaine, you'll see her doing the readings for Ari, and then you'll see me doing the other readings, and then she does yours right after that. So it's going to be like after It's a Vibe and before Kiki or Lucas.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We will take that compliment. We got a reading request from Rhiannon. I like that name. Am I going to get this business up off the ground? Wondering if I'll find enough work this winter. Thank you. I'll answer that for you. We're going to call last call on the readings, guys. So if you guys want to get a reading please get your requests in. Also, if you want to join and you want to get in on our level 1, 2, or 3, you may do so. And you can cash in on one of the readings now if you'd like. Being a subscriber, you support us and you get early access to our videos. So instead of waiting until Monday for it to come out, you're going to be able to see it every Saturday. So that's cool too. And you might get little extras that other people don't see. So in terms of the business getting up off the ground, good news is I see it being abundant. It does seem like it's going to take a little time. And so there's some interesting characters that are coming up in your spread. Nine of Pentacles reversed is talking about hesitation. So it's like a situation where you're going back and forth and you're kind of hesitating. Like, is it worth the investment? Is it going to pay off? Am I making the right move? Do not hesitate. One thing I will tell you is when it comes to the direction where you're going, I wonder, do you need some kind of like qualification? Do you need some kind of license? Do you need some kind of training? Do you need to get a business license? Does it make sense to get a mentor? You know, the Hierophant reversed is like the lawyer that you go and you talk to set up the LLC. It's the going and talking to somebody who's had that kind of business and they know the ins and outs of it. It's the wiser kind of person who's going to give you the insight so that way you feel really secure. Because to me, it seems like it would be beneficial to have someone like that for you right now. It can be a Taurus or it can be another earth sign who comes in and really kind of assists you, especially because I feel like without somebody who either has experience or assistance in helping you kind of put together your vision, it's going to be harder to get it up off the ground. Ultimately, it still is going to be successful, especially like March through May of next year, but it can take longer if you're not investing in yourself, if you're not investing in this business, and if you're not really taking the time to go and find somebody who can advise you to do it the right way. Otherwise, it can be costly in a sense of time and unnecessary expenses. And so you can really save yourself from that if you do that. The Empress is all about Venus. And the Empress talks about good business coming in, trade, exchange, commerce, luxury, something that's like really sought after. So it's also talking a lot about quality. So I want you to think about that as well, depending on what kind of a business you have. Scorpio rising, Aqua Sun, Aries moon. So then you've got your moon somewhere in the 6th house and your sun is somewhere in either the 3rd or the 4th. Online business, hello, lots of Scorpio risings are doing this right now. One thing I would tell you is that I think a lot of it is going to be more so successful when you start to see Jupiter go into your 5th house, because that's like self-employment, especially anything that does with like creativity, and it's going to start building into a sextile with Uranus and Taurus. So support partnerships, once again, working with other people and other people who can help give you insight or who you can work with. One of the biggest challenges for Scorpio risings is the square between Saturn and Uranus. So there's this balance between your 4th house and your 7th house right now. So you either need a partner or you need people in your home to kick in to help you. Maybe you need to move, rearrange your house a little bit, start working with like a romantic partner. Something like that will help you actually find your way through. But I do see, especially in the spring of next year, it's looking pretty good.
Boom. Next we have Devin. Whatever comes through. Let's see. So Devin, we have the Emperor. And on top of that, the underlying theme, we have death.
Ooh, Mars.
Yeah, so we're seeing a full-on transformation. Micah, we are last call. You can still send a payment. So, Devin, this is talking about you stepping into a very supreme element of your masculinity. You're going to reflect this with actual men and other masculine figures who reflect the masculinity you have that you can identify with. So you're going to see how it's done. And the underlying theme of this is all tied in to a transformation process that's going to, especially with the Hangman, have you surrender and bring this out more, where you're directly asserting yourself more, got the Queen of Pentacles, and while you value yourself, establish so much more authority. So there could be father figures who reflect what this is supposed to look like, but I really get that you are this emperor and you are unlocking and transforming and awakening greater power. You've mastered the Empress. You mastered being the goddess. Now you're going to take that magic and you're going to move forward powerfully. We've got the High Priestess, so you're going to come into synchronicities and an unveiling.
She's Mars and Aries.
Oh, that's awesome. Likewise. Shout out to Mars and Aries gang.
So Sarah Lansing asked, should I cancel the policy or keep it? I'm a Cancer sun, rising.
Cat moon.
Cat moon.
Yep.
should she cancel?
So that means she's already knows. She just wants to. Ooh.
I mean, I see both sides of this. I kind of feel like the star card reverse does not necessarily mean to let it go. I kind of feel like it's kind of like saying to you, it might actually be like your lucky thing. Like that might be something that saves your ass. Especially if it's talking about like a health or an insurance policy or a backup policy or something that's just like in case of an accident or in case of a health issue. So I wonder what kind of a policy it is. But the star card reverse is like really saying like, you know, all in all, you're going to be fine regardless of what happens. However, with the star reversed is like if you need healing, if you need assistance, if you need extra care, if you need something that's just going to cover you in case you're underinsured for whatever reason, may not be the best time to get rid of it. It might be something that you keep probably at least to the better part of the new year. So keep that in mind. The star card reverse also says that if you do let go of the policy for whatever reason, there can be another group that you join, but it may not be for about a 6-month period. So take that into consideration. But if it deals with health or like insurance, I would say especially, you may want to hold on to it.
Beautiful. Micah MS, I'd like some clarity on whether to move out of the country next year or stay and get a tiny home. So I asked what your rising sign is, because if you're Scorpio rising and you're going
She's
to
a
the
Cap
fourth
rising,
house,
I think, with a Pisces sun in the second, from what I remember. I don't remember where her moon is, but...
Cap rising means that the Aries is the fourth house. Chiron is transiting somewhat of your fourth. So personally...
Foreign country. Jupiter in the fourth.
Jupiter in the fourth, right, and coming through there. So personally, I don't believe that tarot cards can tell you what to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 2 cards and I'll clarify what the energy will be if you move out the country and what the energy will be if you stay. And then you can make a decision based on that. So personally...
Oh my gosh, but your sun's in Pisces.
And so, Jupiter's going to go through there, which is like foreign, and it's like...
But I mean, the other side is she's got Pisces in the second, and she's got then Aries in the third going into the fourth, from what I remember.
Taurus sun in the fourth.
To me, that seems more like tiny house.
Oh, so she has Uranus transiting her Placidus fourth. A lot of this screams foreign, like to really just kind of like move, but I just...
Taurus sun in the fourth, that's what it was.
Right.
Taurus moon in the fourth, sorry. Taurus moon in the fourth.
So the underlying thing is the 2 of Cups. Partnership will really help mediate the decision. But personally, for the first one, this is if you move out the country. We got the Lovers card. So if you move out, you'll find a soulmate. You'll actually find creative opportunities to link your mind and heart. This might be a good look. Like you may develop a passion in where you go. You may meet someone who develops what you love to do. The Lovers card doesn't have to be romantic. It could be like developing a passion of playing guitar. And then if you get a tiny home, we got the Knight of Cups. This is the Pisces energy. So once again, the reason why I like to do it like this is there's not a right answer here. It's not necessarily like one is better than the other. It's more so what you're going to get. Looks like you want to go for the Lovers card. The Lovers is major. The Knight of Cups is a royal. So the Knight of Cups is first of all, Micah, this is talking about really connecting with the Knight of Cups figure who's very romantic outside of this context. So we even got the Empress, but personally the Knight of Cups, you'll be a lot more artistic. You'll be a lot more in your feelings, but more romantically in your heart and more artistic once again. But I feel like the Lovers card, if you move, will help you really align more your heart and your mind. And I'm not going to tell you that you should move out the country, but that's definitely, you know,
it depends on your annual perfection year that you want to look at. And then it also, you know, just considering because your sun is in the second and Jupiter's going to cross your sun, going and being in a foreign land might really expand your relationships, making it possible. So if you wanted to come back within 1 to 2 years and do the tiny house, you could, but you'd really want to look at your progressions and your annual perfections is what you really want to look at depending on what year you're in.
Should I also kept getting the 8 of Cups and Chariot came out. Oh, are you serious? Move out the country. See, you should have led with that. You should have led with that.
8 of Cups and the Chariot's like, go, get out while you still can.
So it's time for the pick a card sex reading.
Oh goodness, this is my favorite part of the live shows, by the way.
I'm gonna change up how I do this. So it's not gonna be a will you or will you not. It's gonna be more so the quality of sex you may or may not have.
Oh my god. Okay.
So this is where everyone may have sex, but how are you going to? Boom. So I want you to focus. I want you to imagine the fantasy sex that you want to have. We got Pisces energy. Take advantage of it. And this is the first card. Boom. Card number 1. I'm going to shuffle again. Boom. Card number 2. All right. Boom. Card number 3. We're going to do 2 more. Give you more options.
Oh my gosh, you're spoiling them tonight.
Right. Card number 4. And finally, card number 5. So the underlying theme that we have here, I saw the 7 of Cups, I had to reshuffle. Some of y'all are just going to be fantasizing about sex. The underlying card that we have here is the 7 of Wands. So this is saying perseverance. Yes means yes and no means no, but no can mean not yet. So don't force yourself.
Sound like Pepe Le Pew.
Right, just be persistent, right? 7 of Wands is not even saying to keep trying when you can't. It's saying to stand up and really back, because like for some of the underlying theme here is you may have opposition against your desire to do this, but so no means no, right? But you can definitely be like, hey, like don't beat around the bush. This is for all of the pals. This is like, hey, you're gorgeous. I want to hump you all night long. And then the person might be like, excuse me, what did you say? And you look them in the eyes and you're like, I want to take you to climax and I want to give it to you. And then they look at you like, oh wow, you're serious. I thought you were just saying it. Okay, let's do it. So you're not forcing anything. You're just standing up with courageous. You need courageous. So pile number 1.
Okay, Ash chose 1. Anybody else? Okay.
Let's go. The Page of Cups. I don't want to do reverse, but we got the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups.
That's like a sloppy ass makeout.
It really is.
It's a sloppy makeout. It's like you're making out with the guy at the bar that you've been like looking at, and it's like last call, and you're like, you'll do.
It's also saying if you write a poem and if you sing a Chris Brown song.
Ew! Ew, that makes my whole body like shrivel up.
Or you can do one of his more sexier songs. You can sing a Trey Songz song. Like if you get a little, it's not the Knight of Cups that's Justin Bieber romantic. It's more like a kid romance. It's more like
that is Justin Bieber romance. He sounds like his nuts haven't dropped yet.
No, now he's a Christian. Now he's a pastor. Like, he's grown. But personally, Page of Cups is talking about new love. So this can kind of blindside you. It's saying that it's okay to open your heart. But this isn't just sex. Some of you may catch feelings. So beware of falling in love because maybe you got some good D. First of all,
don't get dickmatized.
Yes.
Do not get dickmatized. Stop it.
But I feel like the Page of Cups is literally like, if you want sex, like open up, like share your feeling. You might be surprised. You might be like, I like you. And then this person is like, you want to fuck? Or like, they're like super DCF. And you're like, whoa, like I didn't know it was going to go here. So here's the thing. Ladies, look at me, ladies. Listen. Shame on y'all for having such good poontang and complaining that men come quick. We need to dead this. Kings, if you're a fellow king watching and you come quick and the pussy is good, that's not your fault, King.
Can you have Mars and Aries?
Yes. That's not your fault, King. That's not your fault, King.
Stop it. That's not the only thing women complain about.
She decided
that's not
to
the
have
only thing.
Such wet, dripping, good,
that's not the only thing.
Snatch. That's not your fault.
Sometimes we have to bust out a fucking whiteboard and draw a map and be like, here is the clitoris.
Oh,
like, you be looking there and they're like trying to,
If you can't find the clit, that's your fault. But if you bust quick, that's their fault. They didn't have to have such good snatch. They could have had a dry vagina. They could have had
I'm watching the viewers
one.
Just drop. Just dropping. They're just like, I'm out. I'm not enough of this shit.
They don't want to have sex. They can't handle. They decide to have a tight snatch. That's not our fault. Okay, Harvard has done a study. You only last 4 minutes max in good snatch. Like, you don't go higher than that. So I don't know where the complaints are coming from.
Harvard did I don't even.
Yale wanted to, but Harvard did. You look it up on their database. Say vaginal influence on organ. Okay, so pile number 2, we have the magician. If you chose pile number 2, you get it. Pile number 2 means you just show up and you be like, I'm here.
And he's gonna pull out all the fucking kinks too.
You have all the resources you need to get it done.
Yes.
And to do it. And you got
But he's
the
probably
resources
gonna
and the
leave
tools.
town and not call you back.
Maybe.
Sorry.
Might be the
It'll be
best
like an
you'll have to.
Irish goodbye, but.
Irish goodbye. That's hilarious. Doesn't have to be a one night stand, but it's gonna be super magical. It's kind of like Lucifer, the best I ever had. Until he caught feelings that they saw him as a one night stand. I'm like, dude, you're Lucifer. I know you don't care. So next we have the Fool. Okay, he was in love with Chloe Decker, but the Fool. The Fool is talking about, yes, you can. Now listen, if you chose pile 3, you're gonna have sex, but you have to open your mind. Maybe you may not be into whips and chains, but you are today. Okay, like you have to open your mind to some weirder shit. Like when you get the Fool, you're gonna have sex with someone that's not your type. Until you do, and you may realize they are. So far we got some really good cards.
I see the Fool is like having sex with the guy that you thought was the hipster, and then he asks you to drop him off, and you take him home, but you leave him under a bridge, and you're like, fuck, that guy was homeless.
That could
like,
be
that's
that too.
literally
That
what
could be that
the
too.
Fool is. Okay,
Yeah.
just fair warning, check those credit scores.
Or it could be someone younger than you or someone older than you, but acts childish. But the Fool card could also be like it's Uranus. It could be like extraordinary sex that you weren't expecting. That's different though. It's not what you're used to. And some of you may go on a new adventure and end up in some booty. So pile number 4, we have the 6 of Pentacles. This is kind of interesting because
that like
this could
I was gonna say something really mean, but
this could be tricking. For some of you, maybe you may need to pay to play. For others,
it's legal here. We can say that. We can say that it's legal here. It's still the Wild West here. I also see that as like, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's like pity fuck.
it could
It's
be.
like a pity fuck.
Right.
That's like, I'll throw you a bone.
It's
Or,
like, oh.
what is that meme that's like guys are in your DMs like, can I get a crumb of some pussy?
A crumb of pussy, right? It's like, okay, no. It's like, dudes is like, oh, I'm a pimp. Like, I don't need a chick, or like, I don't beg for whatever. Also, dudes, can I get a crumb of pussy? Right. A crumb. The 6 of Pentacles is kind of like give and take, though. It's like the reason why you might do pity sex is like, yeah, you don't want to, but this person does have a trader card that you always wanted, and you know you'll get it if you do it. It's kind of like a favor for a favor type
Jesus
of thing.
Christ.
But there is a bit of inequality, and that's where there's the transactional element of it. It's like some of you, like you might decide to have sex with someone because you're hungry and they took you out to eat, or maybe they gave you their favorite
Did you see
food.
that thing that women were posting? It's like been around on like the last week. It said something like, my new kink is like asking men if they're just looking for casual sex, like why not get a sex worker, because if it's going to be transactional, then you can fucking pay for it. And I was like, oh.
No, but that's the truth.
But
that's actually the truth. That's actually the fucking truth. And I get the sense with the 6 of Pentacles, it's balanced. It's like you get what you want, they get what they want.
but like also this is
Watch
like,
out for hobosexuals, though.
This is like feminine energy because it's Pentacles. So it's
Moon and
like
Taurus.
he at least better get you off, and if he doesn't, he better buy you dinner.
True.
Like
It's gonna
there's
be fair.
gotta be a trade there.
We got the balance. It's gonna
Pussy
be fair.
ain't free.
It's gonna be fair. Beware of a hobosexual though. That like gives you the good D.
What the fuck is a
But
homosexual?
They'll give you the good D, but they don't have a home, so they're gonna stay at your home.
Because good dick sleeps on a couch.
Yes,
If
exactly.
you're slinging the good dick, you don't have a job, or you don't have somewhere to live, like, or you live in a car.
Or you're a unicorn like me that has all 3, and that's rare. So it is what it is. Unless I'm ugly as fuck, but hey, it is what it is. Oh, pile 5! We got the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles, some of you may be stingy with the D or the P. But here's the thing. Four of Pentacles is talking about it's solid. It's talking about beware of gold diggers. Maybe someone might be coming because you got it like that. I actually chose this pile, so I'm actually kind of happy. But this is the Sun in
That's just not
Capricorn.
giving it up.
It is.
It's not giving it up.
So you might curve some
picky.
people. But I'm picky as fuck. But personally, with the Four of Pentacles, this is talking about kind of having more security. You kind of lock it down. This might be pre-planned beforehand. It's interesting. It's solid, but it's not major like the other two. Four of Pentacles is definitely...
Let them crash, they'll never leave.
Right. Oh my God. Four of Pentacles might low-key be like after the act. It's like, hey, you might want to click your heels and, split. It's not that
Oh, I like that.
serious.
You hold the gold between your legs, pile 5.
Right. It's going to be like you're going to be selective. You're not just going to have sex with anybody, but when you do, it's going to be solid, and that's amazing. I feel like I'm missing something for Four of Pentacles, but it is kind of being stingy a bit. But it's also kind of tied into maybe... Actually, pile 5, you may get paid to... I mean, it is what it is, but you might...
gotta make them work for those dick pics.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, hopefully that was helpful. That was a bit of a shit show, but it usually is when we do our lives.
No means no.
You have to say that so you don't get canceled.
Right. But you gotta be persistent in the sense where, like, stand up for your desires. If they say no, they say no. They're not interested. But don't pussy. Don't be a bitch and be like, well, oh no, I don't want to have sex.
Just be like, I'll be back.
When you're ready. When you're ready for this D.
I'll be around.
You'll see me.
Oh my gosh. Well, that was super fun. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching our lives and for donating for readings. We really appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe so you can be aware of when all of our newest videos drop. If you want to book a reading with myself or Mike or our website, see our social media, check out the links below. And we will be back probably in 2 weeks to do another live. Otherwise, enjoy the new podcast episodes that we have coming out. If you have any ideas for anything you'd like us to chat about, do let us know. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And enjoy Virgo season. We will see all of you guys very soon. You guys take care.
Peace. Yeah.